Hello everyone, this is Muhammad Aslam Ali Hindi and you are learning Solidworks 2018. So you have already learned the different kind of lines, the circles. Now you can make a rectangle using the lines like this. But this is a tedious process and you have to use a command 4 times to create the rectangle. So here is the rectangle command, and not only a simple rectangle, there are 5 different kinds of rectangles which you can create. The most basic one is a corner rectangle. So starting from this point, going up to this point like this. So this was my start point, and this was the other one was my, the third one was my end point, and using these 2 points I can create the circle. I can pick up any point and I can drag the length of the rectangle, and I can change the height of the rectangle, and using this point I can change both of them as per my requirement. So this is a simple rectangle. I can give them dimensions as well, whatever way I do want. So this is a simple rectangle, but in some situations we just have a point and we have to make a rectangle symmetrically around that point. So in that case we use a center rectangle which is controlled by its center. So for example, I am taking this point as the center of the rectangle, and as I extend my cursor, you can see I can make the rectangle as I wish. So for example, I am clicking here, the rectangle is created, and I can give the dimensions as well accordingly this one, and I can just pick up the center and I can place it anywhere. For example, I place it on the origin, and you can see all the 4 lines as well as the inner lines, which are the construction lines. Both of them has turned black, which means it is now fully defined. You can see it here written as well, fully defined. So this is our center rectangle. Another, for example, we need a rectangle which need not to be aligned with the horizon or the vertical plane, the vertical axis. So in that case we can go for the third kind of rectangle, which is 3-point corner rectangle. For example, I am taking this line, and then I am taking, for example, this line. This is the inclination of the rectangle, and then I extend like this. So this is our corner rectangle. So we can create an inclination of the rectangle as per our need. Now going further, I should tell you about the use of mouse as well, how we can use the mouse to place this sketch or model, which we will be developing later on, this sketch or the model anywhere on the screen, to zoom in or zoom out the model. So going here, this option is for zoom to fit. Clicking on it, you can see it has perfectly, it is in its best viewing position here, and this one can be used to zoom an area. For example, I want to zoom this much part, so it will be zooming in this much part. and again clicking on this one, we can either use F or we can click on this one. For example, I am pressing F from my keyboard, and it is in now it's in its best viewing position. This was for the what was available on this interface, as well as what was available on the keyboard. Now going for the mouse, if I scroll in my mouse, you can see it is zooming in, and if I scroll out my mouse, you can see it is zooming out. And where the entity will be going depends on where my cursor will be at that point. For example, now this is the best viewing position. If I place my cursor in middle of this rectangle, and then I scroll in, it is scrolling in symmetrically, and once I scroll out, it is scrolling out symmetrically. And for example, if I place my cursor here, you can see it is scrolling like this. You have to better understand it by practicing it. Now my cursor is here, and I'm scrolling like this. Scrolling out also depends on the position of the cursor. For example, this is my rectangle, and I am placing my cursor here, and I am scrolling out. So where the entity will be going depends on the position of this cursor. So accordingly, we can place the entity or the model on any desired position using the scroll in and the scroll button of the mouse. So this was the third one. Now going for the fourth one, which is 3-point center rectangle. This is used when we need a center rectangle at an inclination with the horizon. So I am, for example, placing here, this is the center point. Now it is asking for the inclination which we want, and then going for this point, and now like this we have created our 3-point center rectangle, which is inclined, the corner rectangle. So this was the fourth one, and the last one is a parallelogram, which is necessarily not a rectangle. This is a parallelogram whose adjacent sides are, or whose facing sides are equal and parallel to each other. This side and this side, which are facing each other, they are parallel as well as equal to each other. Same way these ones. So these are the 5 kinds of rectangles, 4 kinds of rectangles, and the fifth one is a parallelogram. These are the 5 entities we can create using this command of Solidworks in the sketches. So this much is for today. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.